morning, people. It is Tuesday, 18th of November. Welcome to my world. This is the M60 going over Barton Bridge. It is 8:30. Traffic, once again, is slow, to say the least. My first pickup, well, started the day with dropping my empty container off at Maritime, then going across the road to Freightliner to pick up an empty container. This one is an export. It's going to a company in Blackburn. They're going to load it up. I have to put a security seal on it then, and then go back to Freightliner in Manchester. With any luck, the motorway might be a little bit free by then. This is pretty much, unless you set off before 6-7 o'clock in the morning, this is what most container drivers, truck drivers, any driver have to contend with, and this is a daily daily routine. What makes me laugh is people always complain about the M25 and the motorways down south. We have the same problems up here: the M60, M61, M62, M6. But we don't seem to gripe, complain, panic as much as them down there, down south. But they haven't got the majority. They haven't got the ownership of bad management, bad driving, bad flow of traffic. You know, it's all over the blinking world. It's all over the country. Too many vehicles, not enough roads, too many idiot drivers. You can name millions of reasons for it, but it's how it is, and it's only going to get worse. The routine we have a pick-up time, a drop time, and a VBS time. VBS is basically we get a time to pick up the container or drop the container off, and then we get a VBS for the client, the customer. So everything's related to time. So my VBS, sadly, was 6-7 at Maritime, and then 6-7 at Freightliner. With time restraints and everything else, and time hiccups, I managed the Maritime one in time, but I ran a little bit late for Freightliner, so we had to put the next VBS in, which was only 30 minutes, but that 30 minutes then cascaded because I've hit the traffic in Freightliner, which added another 10 minutes ish, and then I get on the motorway at the M60 junction 9, and as soon as you get to junction 9, there's been a collision, and there's a police car and a fire engine and a smashed up car, so that added a little bit more time. I've gone over Barton Bridge. As you can see now, I'm coming up to junction 11, and it's 40 miles an hour. My VBS for this client in Blackburn is 9 o'clock. It is 8:36. I really don't think, unless I grow wings, so I need a couple of gallons of Red Bull. If the traffic carries on like this, I don't think I'm going to make the time. What can I say? Yesterday I went to a client in Blackburn, another one, got there on time, just under 3 hours it took to unload. I think it was 2 hours and 50 minutes. So if you fancy driving as a truck or fancy heavy goods, container work is easy job. Well, I say easy job, it's one of the easiest truck drivers' jobs. But if you can't cope with sitting there and doing absolutely diddly for an hour, 2, 3, 4, whatever, then container work isn't for you. The longest I've waited on a container was the first month I was working for this company, and it was an export, and the boxes that I was trying to put inside the container was only just small enough. They were 27 foot long and 9 foot, well, there was an inch spur at the top, and there were 3 of them going in, and then some stairs and walkways, and there was a truck in front of me who was on time, I was on time, I was early, and that took nigh on 6 hours to load, because I had to wait for the other container. So it is time dependent, but you're always chasing the time. So things like this now on the motorway, you know, and I'm doing all of 3 mile an hour, is the problem. Do I enjoy my job? Yes. Do I like my job? Yes. Do I like the company I'm working for? Yes. Would you like more money? Definitely yes. At the moment, most truck drivers, container drivers, shall I say, very close to the minimum wage. The only reason why it makes it pay is because you're doing minimum, and I mean minimum, 50 hours a week, regular up to 60, and that's this time of year. And then once it gets a bit more brighter and a bit longer times, you can get to 65, 70 hours a week, and that's the reason why it pays. There is other types of HGV driving: curtain siders, general haulage, multi-drop, fridge work, hazardous goods, you know, like fuel tankers. You got low loaders, wide loads. There's multiple sins. I don't know what any of them are like wage wise. I did curtain siders for about 3 weeks when I first passed my test. That were more stressful than this, because you're multi-dropping, opening the curtains, unstrapping, letting the loads out, then going to the next customer, opening the curtains, putting stuff in, strapping, closing the curtains, then dropping it off, doing the same, picking it up, doing the same. So it was the driving was the easy bit, to be honest, in my eyes. Would I recommend truck driving? It's not for everybody. Like I said, you're doing 8, 9, 10 hours, when the majority of the time you're on your own. And if you like being Billy O on your own, then it's a perfect job. The only time I see people, talk to people, or anything like that is when I go to my clients, customers. Sometimes I might have a 10-minute conversation with the banksman to say, reverse into this bay, right? You know, give us your keys, or you've unloaded, you're ready to go, lad, give you paperwork, sign this. So yeah, it's quite a solo life. You know, you can talk to other drivers if you're waiting, but some drivers, you know, they don't like to socialise. You know, I can sit next to 2 trucks in a bay, in a compound, and them 2 won't talk. Or some of them will have a chat. It's half dozen one and dozen of the other. But yeah, it's a big change from my last job when I was in IT, where you were surrounded by people 24/7. You know, you had to watch your P's and Q's. This company, it's all done by WhatsApp or PDA. If there's an issue or they need to get in touch, they ring you, or it's all done by PDA. Nice bunch of people in the office. Were, you know, working for IT for the local council. You was constantly running around, chasing your tail, trying to get everything fixed, and be all and end all, you were just an oily rag. You know, schools knew it's a necessity to have a technician. They didn't want you. They thought it was an expense they could use for something else. And the teachers, some liked you, some coped with you, and some only wanted to talk to you unless if there was a fault, and then they wanted to be priority. Yeah, you can say that the same about being a truck driver. You know, you can get customers very arsey, and you can get customers who offer you a brew and have a chat with you. It's general. But please note, the winters, this time of year, the weather's getting bad. You know, I left the house and it was 1, temperature of 1. You know, you lot are nice and cosy in your car, in your house. us truck drivers, delivery drivers, we're out in all the weathers. We was out on Friday when it was blowing a gale. We'll be out when it's snowing. We'll be out when it's pitch black. We're out when it's dark, but we're going into it when it's dark, coming home when it's dark. But in the summer, we've got the most beautifulest office in the world. You can see everything. So it's pros and cons like everything else. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of my life. So I've not done a video for a while. I do apologise, but as you can see, if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 6, 7 o'clock, I'm having my tea, and then shower and bed. So I'm finding it quite difficult finding time to do these sort of things, hence that's why I'm doing it on my phone. And I just wanted to show you, the life of a day driver, truck driver, because that's what I'm classed as, a day driver. No nights, no overnights, back to yard every night. Living the dream a mile at a time. Okay, well, I'll see if I can try and sort some ways to do some videos more often, but this is just a quick one to say I am still here. I am still trying to do videos. Please like and subscribe. Please, please, please. And I hope to get some more up this week or later on this week, we'll see. And I hope you give me any comments of what you'd like to see, or talk about.
In 2 1/4 miles, take exit 15 on the left to M61.
61. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Satnav. Okay, that'll be it for me. Be safe, be careful, get home to your loved ones. If you're 10 minutes late, you're 10 minutes late. It's better being 10 minutes late than 30 years early in your coffin. Be good, be safe, be friendly and be nice. Remember, don't cut into trucks, because we've got 44 ton, we're not going to feel it, you're going to get the bruise. Don't be an arse thinking you can leave the motorway on a junction within 30 yards, because you will come a cropper. Alright? Au revoir. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.